IVM.
You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, the Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. You know how some of the best memories you have are crazy memories of doing something fun, something unexpected and last minute. Just something on the spur of the moment. Whether it's a random lunch plan with your best friend, a movie date, packing your bags and leaving for a vacation, going for a long drive with great music and great company. Whatever it may be, it's usually something exciting and something super spontaneous, isn't it? You know, my best friend and I, we have come to this conclusion in our lives a long time ago. Whether it's a trip to Europe, a lunch in the middle of a workday, or just going over to each other's houses, uninvited, and plonking on the couch, the best memories we've made are the ones that have been unplanned, the ones that have been spontaneous. How about you? Do you think you have that little slice of spontaneity in your life? Or do you feel like you're living very monotonously? People lack the ability to be spontaneous in life. No, don't get me wrong. Some people want to be spontaneous, but they don't land up being spontaneous. It is possible because they have a busy schedule, busy work life, lot of responsibilities, don't know how to make time for something that is fun and exciting and unplanned. Sometimes they want to, but they can't. And sometimes it's because they are just like that. They're very structured and they like to be structured. They like to be organized. Those kind of people are obviously averse to spontaneity, and that's absolutely understandable. It's personal choices, right? Some people like spontaneity but aren't able to make time for it or find a way to use it anymore. Some people despise it. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. How you prefer to be, what your choices are, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I just want to share with you a few amazing benefits of spontaneity, apart from, of course, making memories and cherishing moments. So I'm going to share them with you, and I'll leave it to you. You can decide if you want to try and be spontaneous, if you've always been slightly spontaneous and you've lost that touch, or if you're very structured and maybe you just want to experiment. So it's all up to you. Spontaneous people are adaptable and flexible. Now, what I love about spontaneous people is the very fact that they can adapt real quick. While most people resist change and then adapt to it, spontaneous people will make no necessary fuss. They'll be okay with it. They do not fear change and they're quite quick to adjust. So, it's no surprise that people with spontaneity are more flexible to change in any kind of plans, or, if there's a detour or diversion. They won't be too worked up about reaching point A to Z through C only, or D or F. As long as you're planning to get there and you're planning to have fun on the way, they're very cool like that. They have this I'm fine with it kind of attitude as long as everybody is good, everybody's having fun. So they can adapt and they can be flexible. They're quick decision makers. They don't take very long in making decisions. And mind you, it doesn't mean that they don't think. No, it means they don't overthink. And more importantly, what I've noticed is that they usually don't regret decisions easily. Decisions they've taken, other people might regret it, but spontaneous people, not so much. They don't regret decisions very easily. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule as well, but because they are more comfortable with the element of surprise, it is easy for them to make decisions, even if the outcome isn't one that they were expecting or in their favor. It's more like, let's go for it, let's do this, let's try this, let's see what happens, let's see where it takes us kind of attitude. And because of that, they can be quick decision makers, They can be decision makers who don't regret their decisions, and they can also be people who can make hard decisions quite easily. They are more mindful because they are happy to do unplanned things, something in the moment, something just now. They kind of enjoy it while it lasts. They aren't always looking for meaning and purpose, whether it is treating themselves to an ice cream, getting soaked in the rain, or walking by the beach. They seize tiny moments. Tiny moments spark joy, even in the most meaningful things. And I personally think that's beautiful. And that's why spontaneous people are more mindful. They are in the moment. They're seizing the moment. They're enjoying what's going on. They don't make sense out of everything. They're just there. They're not stuck up. If you make plans with them or invite them, they will happily agree and maybe even call more people to join in. But that's not the best part of not being stuck up, really. The best part is that if a plan is cancelled last minute, it doesn't really disappoint them. They are fine with it. They don't give you grief or expect much of it. Last minute cancellations and changes don't make them a spoiled sport. They can plan something else in a moment's notice. Also, they don't mind if there is no plan at all. They aren't tied down to a particular person with a particular plan or need other plans. They could very well be sitting at home and still be happy about it. They're just not stuck up. Easy peasy, So if you have people who are spontaneous around you, good for you, because you know you can't disappoint them because they don't get disappointed easily. They're okay. Less stressed. Since they aren't very structured, they don't assume control over things that cannot be controlled. Like changes, contingencies, choices, relationships. Plenty of things around us that we cannot control, and when we try to do that, we get stressed. Now, spontaneous people, they do understand that life simply goes on, one way or the other, and they will find a way if they have to. Since they respond to life's demands without driving themselves up the wall, they are naturally less stressed and worried. Even when challenges aren't feared, they can manage what's been thrown at them. And because they instinctively think of probably 10 ways to solve a problem, instead of dwelling on them, they simply have lesser reasons to stress. Spontaneous people know how to be happier. Considering all of the above, spontaneous people are flexible, adaptable, more mindful, less stressed, quick decision makers, and hardly stuck up. So it's no wonder that they tend to be happier, more relaxed, more creative, fresh, proactive too. They don't just focus on finding happiness, but instead doing little things that make them happy, and that which also leaves space for trial, error, experiments, experiences, and mistakes. They don't beat themselves up about everything, and so it is easier for them to be happier. Spontaneous people are open to experiences. They are okay to fail and fall and rise again. They are happy to allow things to stay or to leave. They can enjoy their company as much as they enjoy yours. And this openness to experiences translates into their personality, their perspective, even their ideologies sometimes. All I'm saying here is sometimes, just sometimes, try not to try too hard. Just do, just be, just experience. Find joy in meaningless things. Do things intuitively. Be less disappointed in others. Be more excited about things around you. Enjoy doing everything or nothing. It can be extremely remedial and therapeutic. So my precious people, if you enjoy listening to the Life Manifesto and manifesting your life and achieving your dreams, please go ahead and like and rate our podcast. You can also click on the notification bell to get to know as soon as our latest episode drops. Do subscribe to the Life Manifesto. It's going to help us go a long way, and also reach out to like-minded people who want to truly manifest their lives and live the best version of themselves. Meanwhile, do what you love and do it often. And if you don't like something, go right ahead and change it. The power is within you. Thank you for tuning in to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find the show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla, available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says It's Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Nivedita, Tony, and Antrix discuss the new IVM merch, which you should definitely go check out on our website, ivmpodcast.com. You can click the shop tab, and that will take you to our partner, Grow91. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff there, which you should definitely check out. But besides the IVM merchandise, they also discuss thieves who perform puja before looting gold and cash worth Rs 34 lakhs in Kerala. Also, we would like to let you know about something we're very proud of. We've started this new podcast called the Vox Podcast in association with MMA India. It's about all things audio. Karthik Nagarajan, who also hosts the Filter Coffee podcast with us, talks to Anil Vishwanathan. He's the Senior Marketing Director at Mondelez India, and they discuss the innovative use of voice and audio. Speaking of Karthik Nagarajan, on the Filter Coffee podcast, Virali Modi tells Karthik what it's like being disabled in India. The Simplified Gang dive into the manure pile to explore how much our country spends on fertilizer. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk analyze the policy implications of the 5th National Family Health Survey report. And on Say No to Drama, Chitna asks us to realign the stories we've been telling ourselves. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcast has launched merchandise and our first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcast website and click on the shop tab and check out the first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media as well. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple, wherever you do that, that is really helpful for us. And do remember, you can also check a lot of our shows out on YouTube. If you go to ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, you get a list of all of our channels. We're also doing a small listener survey, so please do help us out with that. If you go to ivmpodcast.com/survey, it'll help us understand a little bit more about our listeners. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, Jupiter, a digital banking app, and Capgemini. Get the future you want. Thank you so much. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey.